Hey all, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it may be for wherever you are. I am Stephanie Joy with all things Social Security and the Joy Disability Law Office. Your video is about to start. I wanted to remind you of our live Q&A sessions here on YouTube as well. They start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's a little earlier for you Western folks. And I look forward to seeing you there. It's a first come, first served basis in terms of the questions you might want to pose in the chat. And I will pick them up going from beginning to end for about a 2 hour period. So, anyway, I hope to see you there. Have a great one, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. It's actually evening here. But I wanted to share with you a March 26th, which is today, but you probably won't see this for a few days. Not from me anyway. Another information release from the SSA. It is entitled Social Security Updates Recently Announced Identity Proofing Requirements. So as they move forward in that regard, I am kind of thrilled that they keep us apprised of how their decision making is going in terms of fixing this broken system that we've had. That has really been putting a kibosh on people's benefits for the last many years. So let's get into it. They say that the SSA is taking proactive steps to enhance the security of its services by implementing stronger identity verification procedures. We've all seen this in whatever news source we use or videos like this. The updated measures will further safeguard Social Security records and benefits for millions of Americans against fraudulent activity. Obviously, that's the purpose of this. It's been a long time coming, guys. For those of you that haven't been here swimming in this SSA swimming pool for long, they go on to say that in-person identity proofing for people unable to use their personal My Social Security account. And we have video on how you get into your My Social Security account. The vast, vast majority have no problem, but there is the occasional glitch for some. And whether that's because they can't connect themselves and their identity to their account to get that started, may be the reason why. But in any event, so for the 99%, it's fine or more. And that's my number I'm pulling out that is not researched. Anyway, only for certain services will people who cannot use their My Social Security account have this applied to, the in-person identity proofing. Doesn't apply to everything. There are many phone calls you can make to the SSA that you can do without having in-person identity proofing or having gone through your My Social Security account. This is going to be effective April 14th, 2025. So that's in about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks. And this is a quote from Acting Commissioner Duddick. We have listened to our customers, Congress, advocates, and others, and we are updating our policy to provide better customer service to the country's most vulnerable populations. He goes on to say that in addition to extending the policy's effective date by 2 weeks to ensure their employees have the training they need to help customers, Medicare, disability, and SSI applications are exempt from in-person identity proofing. And this is because multiple opportunities exist during the decision process to verify a person's identity. That's a nice little veer. I like the fact that they see that goal at the end that they're trying to accomplish. They start heading there. People are freaking out. Woo, we don't ever head to our goals. Why are we doing this? It's scary. And then they see a boulder there in the way. Maybe that they needed 2 more weeks of training, whatever, because this is all probably pretty new with an otherwise somewhat untrained SSA staff to begin with. I mean, they've been on the lighter side for a few years now. And so they're veering around that boulder. They're not going to let that boulder be something to take them down. So they adjust. They go around it. They add 2 weeks to the training. So this does not become effective until April 14th. So under the updated policy beginning April 14th, 2025, individuals applying for Social Security Disability Insurance, so that's SSD/SSDI, whatever your favorite acronym is for that, Medicare, or SSI, which is Supplemental Security Income and Welfare Program, Those who cannot use a My Social Security account for whatever reason can complete their claim entirely over the telephone without the need to come into an office. So that's nice. Okay. Individuals who cannot use their personal My Social Security account to apply for benefits will only need to prove their identity at a Social Security office if they are applying for retirement, survivors, auxiliary, which is spouse or child benefits. So those three areas are the only ones, apparently, that if you can't do it online because you have somehow not been able to connect yourself to your own Social Security account, kind of like your own bank account online, the only ones that have to go in person to prove it will be those retiring, because they want to make sure that the retirees are getting their benefits and not that con man around the corner, survivors, and auxiliary. I know survivors couldn't apply online anyway, so that was really nothing new. But you always had to go in for survivors. SSA will enforce online digital identity proofing or in-person identity proofing for these cases. So again, retirement, survivors, or auxiliary, which is the spouse or child benefit, you can do it online digital identity proofing, which would probably be your My SSA account, or you can go in person. The other ones, you don't even have to do that. The agency will not enforce these requirements in extreme dire. So here's another point. The agency will not even enforce these in-person requirements for those few areas I just mentioned in extreme dire need situations. And they give a little sampling, such as terminal cases or prisoner release scenarios. SSA is currently developing a process that will require documentation and management approval to bypass the policy in such dire need cases. They go on to say that individuals who do not or cannot use the agency's online My Social Security services to change their direct deposit information for any benefit will need to visit a Social Security office to process the change, or they can call 1-800-772-1213 to schedule an in-person appointment. So that is what we've been referring to actually over the last couple of weeks. That one change about if you want to have your banking information changed so that you're redirecting your monies to a different bank, you have to go in and prove who you are. And that is because con artists have your information and they were changing the direct deposit to their own accounts on too many people, beneficiaries. This whole problem wouldn't be here, guys, if it wasn't a problem, right? No one's looking to create problems or imagine them, right? Well, some people do, but not these guys. The agency also recommends that individuals unable to apply online call to schedule an in-person appointment to begin and complete a claim for retirement, survivors, or auxiliary spouse or child benefits in one interaction. So you have various options here. Don't think they're anything crazy. There are a lot of things in life you have to show up for, right? And in this case, yeah, I mean, either they risk everybody's benefits because we don't want to do this, or they kind of make some basic common sense guards, if you will. He goes on to say that the SSA recently required nearly all agency employees, including frontline employees in all offices throughout the country, to work in the office 5 days a week. This is going to be really helpful. It's going to be helpful for phone answering. It's going to be helpful for the in-person needs. One reason why people couldn't get their appointments over the last few years is because for some reason, even though COVID was long since over, people were still working from home. It didn't make a lot of sense. Not when you have a public-facing, public need, in-person need for a vulnerable population. That's me talking right there. This change ensures maximum staffing is available to support the stronger in-person identity proofing requirement. Makes sense, right? The agency will continue to monitor and, if necessary, make adjustments to ensure it pays the right person the right amount at the right time while safeguarding the benefits and programs it administers. That's almost a motto now. I have seen that everywhere as their mantra, to ensure it pays the right person the right amount at the right time. I like it. SSA plans to implement the Department of Treasury's Bureau of Fiscal Services Payment Integrity Service, which is called Account Verification Service. This is not new, guys, okay? So if it's used for other areas involving the Treasury, why on earth would it not be used for SSA? AVS provides instant bank verification services to proactively and timely prevent fraud associated with direct deposit change requests. SSA will continue to fight fraud while balancing its program integrity responsibilities with delivering on its customer service mission to the American people. They give a link to where you can create your My Social Security account right from this page, and I will link this page to this status update for you, for those of you that haven't done it yet. They also have a link about what to know about proving your identity. I'm not going to go into that here, but that might be something I want to go into shortly, because if you're going to go in person to prove your identity, you want to know you're bringing the right documents, right? You don't want to make 2 trips. All right, so that's it, guys. They tell you which people it applies to and the many which it doesn't, and how we can still apply online for our Social Security disability and SSI disability, as well as Medicare. All right, that's enough of that. I am shortly going on with Jonathan Ginsburg. I'm guesting with him tonight at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, I hope I see you guys there. Actually, by the time you see this, it will be too late. But I did post it on my community page with YouTube. So anyway, see you guys later. Bye-bye now.